This footage is the only available footage of the creature known as the Red Witch. Over the course of a night, a couple followed it as long as they could. Somehow, they were able to film it for hours without getting noticed, risking their lives to do so. Her origins mark her as one of the few creatures to have a human source. Her story leads all the way back to the days of the Salem witch trials. The Red Witch, aka Sally McBrannan, was one of the first people killed for being discovered a witch. The story goes like this. Originally accused by her husband's mean-spirited sister, Sally was taken by the witch hunters and interrogated for days. Eventually, her husband, on seeing his wife being tortured, foolishly confessed for her. He must have thought, considering she didn't do anything wrong, they would just banish the family and they could move on with their lives. He wasn't prepared for them to sentence her to die. They made it a display to profess her guilt to the community, to reveal Sally's crimes against God. What was worse is that they revealed that both Sally's husband and sister-in-law were the ones to turn her in. The lead interrogator gave Sally a final chance to repent so that she can enter the kingdom of heaven. In that moment, Sally declared she shall not die because she's innocent, that God will keep her safe. Her statement only made her captors mad, so they killed her, or tried to. First, they tried to burn her at the stake. First the fires wouldn't light. Then the next time they tried, it suddenly began to rain. And finally, when they were able to set Sally aflame, she refused to burn. It was a miracle. But the witch hunters only claimed it witch magic from the devil. So they tried to drown her, only for Sally to breathe just fine underwater, no matter how long they held her under. For their last resort, they hung her, first from a stockade, then from a building, and finally the tallest tree they could find. And it looked to be another failure. Sally's neck couldn't break, and she could breathe just fine. So they added weights, and when those wouldn't work, they would add more and more weight. Then the oddest thing happened. As they added more weight, Sally's body would stretch and get taller and longer. Her skin would turn redder and redder, and Sally would do nothing but pray as this happened. For 7 days they tried to kill Sally McBrannan. For 7 days they failed, and on the 8th day, her body vanished. At first, people were relieved. Either someone freed her, or God took her. They didn't have to watch the gruesome sight of the constant attempts to kill her. But the next day, one of the witch hunters vanished. He was found the following morning, strangled to death. Large hand marks around his neck, as if someone wrung the very life from his terrified body. And it kept on happening, day after day. Someone would vanish at night, and then their corpse would be discovered the next day, neck crushed and terrified expression frozen on their face. Soon, the town went silent, and when traders showed up on their monthly visit to sell their wares, there was only one person in the town, Sally's former husband. He had hung himself from the largest tree. Taped to his chest was a drawing he had made of a long red woman wandering around. Sally has been active ever since. Ever since that day, once a year for a week, she would emerge from wherever she rests. Then she'd wander around the location her town used to be, and if she comes across someone, she would slowly chase after them. And if she caught someone, she would pick them up by the neck and bring them face to face. But as the Red Witch is taller than most trees, it doesn't take long for the person to suffocate. Heading indoors didn't help either, as Sally would just reach with her inhumanly long arms through whatever entrance she can discover. Windows and doors couldn't hold back her monstrous strength. After 7 days, the Red Witch will vanish and not be seen again for another year. As for the couple who took these pictures, one of the assumed reasons they got away from Sally is both split up, got into separate cars, and drove away in opposite directions. The tactic used for the first time must have confused the creature, because the next year, when they came back to get more photos, trying the same thing failed somehow, and both were found the next day, strangled to death.